says he's using Title 42 to return people to Mexico, he's lying. All these adult males you see in this video, every one of them qualify for the return to Mexico. He's not doing it. But he tells members of Congress during testimony he's doing it. He tells the media he's doing it. Every one of those males are also eligible for detention. They can be detained. ICE is at like 50% detention right now. He's lying to American people, and this film pulls a curtain back on him. This secretary needs to be removed. Our homeland is less secure under his leadership.
Tom, remember back to the campaign trail 2 years ago, you had so many of the abolish ICE chants going on, and we heard from then candidate Joe Biden he wasn't going to abolish ICE, but is effectively the equivalent happened?
He abolished their mission. ICE cannot enforce the law anymore. He has come out within the last 2 weeks and said you can't arrest somebody for just being here legally. He's telling an immigration officer who's sworn to enforce the immigration law that you can't arrest someone for being an illegal alien. What kind of message does that send to the rest of the world when we're dealing with a border crisis like we are? They haven't released the ICE report yet because it's going to be an embarrassment. And I've been told they're going to turn that ICE report all around so we can't understand it. The men and women of ICE are devastated. Morale's non-existent. Same with the Border Patrol. That's why they jumped over the secretary yesterday in the town hall meeting.
Right, let me address that. So I spoke with Border Patrol President Brendan Judd, who you know well, a couple hours ago. He said, Griff, Border Patrol is broken. And specifically, when you saw that exchange in Yuma yesterday, but before I play that, there was a moment last week. I happened to watch it. It got zero coverage. It was DHS Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas speaking to the Conference of Mayors about the border. Here is what he said. Listen.
Unlawful presence in the United States will alone not be a basis for an immigration enforcement action, but rather we will allocate our efforts, we will allocate our resources on those individuals who present a current public safety threat, a threat to national security, or a threat to our border security. And that is a very important principle.
So last week he tells the entire world it's okay to come. Then, yesterday in Yuma, Arizona, this happens in an exchange with agents.
It may appear that everything's hunky-dory. We know that. I know that.
The commitment remains, and we keep fighting. And let me just say, you can turn your back on me, but I'll never turn my back on you.
Tom, your thoughts?
Amen. He turned his back on them, the same with the president. They both abandoned the men and women of the Border Patrol. It tells you something, Griff, that Border Patrol is broken when you got a uniformed officer taking on a cabinet member, the secretary. And the secretary should be ashamed of himself. And what did he offer them? Well, we're going to ask Mexico to do more. We're going to ask Mexico to do our job for us. Well, President Trump told Mexico they're going to do more on their border, but at the same time, he built a border wall. He ended catch and release. He detained people. He actually enforced the law. He had Title 42. He had to remain in Mexico. President Trump did what this country needed. He let the men and women wearing that green uniform do their job. This secretary says, well, we're going to ask Mexico to do more. He needs to be removed. And this comes on the heels of the CBP commissioner. The CBP commissioner, Chris Magnus, went down, had the same town hall a couple weeks ago, and tells them, if you don't like the policy of this administration, then you can quit. He says this crisis isn't due to our policies, it's due to a lack of manpower. That guy has no clue, because a lack of manpower is directly related to the crisis, which is caused by the policies. If he don't get that, then he's way over his head.
Well, it sure seems like there is a problem that the administration needs to address. We would like to invite Secretary Mayorkas or anyone else in Border Patrol leadership to come on this show. Tom Holman, thank you for taking time and for giving us your insight. Sandra?
And we did